This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle.
BJ, I'm very excited to have our next guest on. The preseason ends tonight and the Kraken start their first ever season as an NHL team next week. So please welcome to the show, number 14 for our Seattle Kraken, Nate Bastian.
Hey, Nate, welcome to the show, sir.
What's up, guys?
Nate,
oh, man,
quick question.
Up?
Do you prefer being called Nate or Nathan?
Probably a Nate.
Okay, just making sure we weren't screwing this up.
I don't actually care.
Oh, yeah. Well, Nate, it's good to have you on the show. It's good to have you in town. It's good to have hockey. I mean, I can't imagine. I don't know. When you started your career and you started playing hockey as a kid and all that. Did you ever think you'd be part of something like this, a brand new team in a city that so much wants it? I mean, you want so much when you have these aspirations to, be in the NHL, be a professional hockey player. But I can't imagine you thought about something like this, and how's it been?
No, for sure. You're right. This is one of those situations kind of growing up that never really crossed your mind, I think, because it's so unique and, even weirder, some of the players when I was really young, I used to watch play in the NHL, these guys, Eberle, Giordano, who now all of a sudden the pieces have kind of aligned and I'm on the same team with. It's crazy we all ended up here now, and the city of Seattle, it's been amazing, and through the preseason so far, the fans have been electric. I think it's been pretty crazy to see these preseason games, how excited everyone is. So for us, it makes all of us really excited.
See, Nate, I grew up being a huge Devils fan. I grew up on the East Coast as my team, and then, came out here, just kept waiting and hoping one day we would have a team, and then it happened. And then, the expansion draft happened, and you being one of the guys I was a big fan of on the Devils, I was just like, I think I spoke for a lot of people that were Devils fans, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we got that guy. I know a lot of Devils fans were bummed to see you leave New Jersey. What was that experience like for you? Because, a month before you got drafted to Seattle, you signed a new deal with New Jersey. You had to feel like, okay, things are good, and then next thing you hear that you're being drafted. Were you excited? Were you shocked? What was the emotions like for you?
It was weird for sure. I think when you're young in your pro career and you have a team you've been 4, 5, 6 years now with the same team after being drafted, you kind of have this idea that maybe you're going to be with the same organization forever, and stuff happens, and there's a business side of it for sure. And I kind of knew leading up to the expansion that my name was one of them that was an option. So I didn't know for sure because I didn't know how they were going to, build around the rest of the team. But I love my time in Jersey, but circumstances are what they are, and they came to an end. And now, for me personally, I have a great opportunity to play with this new franchise in Seattle.
Have there been certain players that you've quickly bonded with? I know you mentioned Giordano being a guy that you grew up being a fan of, but were there certain players, like once you came to camp or started realizing what the rest of the team was going to be like, you're like, oh man, I'm stoked I'm going to be on the team with this guy?
Yeah, it's kind of funny going through the summer. If my friends and family were asking me if I knew any other players on the team, and the answer was always no. I knew absolutely no one, so I kind of came in blind, like no real close connections to anyone. And going through the process so far, it's funny and it's a little bit weird because everyone comes from a different team, so everyone's got kind of their own stories. And for me, there's maybe a handful of guys I've bonded with a little more than others, just because you go through camp and they're separate teams, and you happen to end up spending more time with some teams than others. But everybody's been great so far, and we're really looking forward to kind of come together as a group.
And Nate, we've been hearing everybody talk about how that the training complex up there at Northgate is perhaps the best in the NHL, and you definitely have been around a lot of places in the NHL just by visiting locker rooms and everything. So far, I don't know if you've seen the facilities at all at Climate Pledge yet or not, but is it true what they're saying, at least about where you guys practice up there at Northgate? Is it like insanely amazing?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I think for me, last year in Jersey, we had our practice rink connected to the game rink, so that was pretty convenient. And I always wondered if having a separate practice facility would be kind of a negative. But when they do what they've done for us, and they've made such a nice facility up in Northgate, it's no issue at all. Kind of, we feel like home up there. And as far as Climate Pledge go, I heard it's the real deal. The rumor is I'm not actually going to see it until I step on the ice for warm-up for the home opener. So
really?
Wow. They're going to really make you guys wait that long.
Well, I think when the guys came down for the expansion, a couple guys have had kind of a sneak peek. I know the trainers and stuff have maybe been over there to do a tiny bit of setting up, but someone like me, I've been busy now, and we're playing and stuff, and we don't have a ton of time on it. And the next thing you know, we're on the road. So to get over there and check it out, it's just not really number one priority. And on top of that, I don't think it's even done yet. So we'll probably just kind of let it go as planned.
To you're a better man than me. I'd be like, I want Foo Fighter tickets. I saw that Coldplay's coming. I need to hook up for all of these shows.
No, I'll be bugging them at some point for concert tickets.
Oh, yeah.
I have the most important question for you, Nate. I mean, obviously, this is an insane experience for us as fans. I kind of imagine it's just surreal for players as well, but we need the scoop. You're the guy who's closest to the team. What's going on with the mascot? Do we have a mascot or not?
Oh, that's a big question.
Unfortunately, I have no idea. You would have to assume we have a mascot because we have everything, the way they've treated us so far. So I think we'll see one. I don't know. Maybe I'll see the mascot at the same time I see the rink.
He's just waiting right there. I'm still hoping for like a Gritty like character as our mascot. I think that would just be so awesome.
Nate, he's so hung up on Philly's Gritty. He really can't get over it. Yeah, Gritty, because Gritty, I mean, Gritty definitely is a different kind of mascot. Gritty looks like he's had just many hard nights, and they continue to follow game after game.
Yeah, Gritty's the man.
Yeah.
So, in one of the games I saw, and I don't know what your thoughts were, but I thought it was really cool to see guys like you and Brandon Tanev and Riley Shea on a line together. I felt like there was a certain energy with the three of you guys together. Did you feel that, or what's going on? But as far as just dealing with Coach Hackstall, do you know what the lines are going to be like, or is that still too early to tell?
I think for the most part, you can kind of get an idea of what the lines might be. Obviously, there's, all the players are new and coming together and trying to figure out each other, but that's kind of the same deal with the coaching staff right now, too. So everyone's trying to find their way, and coaches, only have limited X amount of time to figure out certain combinations, how they work before puck drop for the season opener. So I think they've managed it well and done the best they could, but the lines we've kind of been working with, I'm sure, I don't know, but maybe that'll look something similar to what it'll look like on opening night. But obviously there's still too many names floating around, and they got to move some pieces. So that kind of stuff, I'm sure they're sorting out.
Yeah, we're talking. We're talking to Nate Bastian, right winger for your Seattle Kraken, and they have a game tonight on Root Sports, the last preseason game of the season, 7:00 versus the Canucks. And Nate, when somebody plays a game and they get to be like a professional, they always remember, like, in baseball their first hit, football their first touchdown, hockey their first goal. But I'm wondering, do you remember your first fight? Is that something that that does ring true with a hockey player? That not only does like the first goal mean something, but the first fight is something you'll never forget.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think me especially, because my first fight was in my first game. I don't think I'll ever forget it.
Oh, nice. How often does that happen, that a dude who makes his NHL debut just says, I'm going to go mix it up right now? Because I feel like, you're like, all right, maybe I should be cool. I just got here. But you just went after it the first game.
Yeah, definitely sometimes when you're young and you get called up and, there's all kinds of emotions and you just want to do anything you can to leave an impression and kind of make your mark on the game. And, everyone would love to score a goal, but you can't just kind of choose to score a goal, but you can go out and just start a fight if you want. So,
you must have endeared yourself with your teammates and the fan base instantly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one way to get like 80% of the fan base on your side.
So, Nate, is this are we getting a precursor? Are we getting a little hint of what might happen the first game with you and the Kraken, your first NHL game with the Kraken? Or is this like a little hint, perhaps, what might happen on the ice?
I don't know. We're going to be excited, though. It'll be interesting to see.
I feel like a lot of number 14 jerseys will be bought that night if that happens.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a tone that, you're an expansion team. You know how people always have, who knows what the other NHL teams are thinking about that. I mean, after what the Knights did, you can't take any team for granted anymore when it comes to expansion. But I feel like you do want to set a tone going, hey, we're NHL ready. We're here and we belong here. I feel like, if there's a guy named Nate, he might want to send that message.
Yeah, it very well could be me.
This might be a stupid question for you, Nate, but do you remember the first time you saw somebody rocking a jersey with your name and number on it?
Other than my mother?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome, though. How awesome, Mom got the jersey. That is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I maybe like not one particular time. It had to have been probably in junior. I know there's a couple of my jerseys flown around in my American League ranks when I played in Binghamton for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't know. You move up to the NHL and then you probably see a lot more Hughes and T-shirt jerseys than Bastian.
What did you think of your first thoughts when you found out, even before you were drafted by Seattle, but when you first heard that there was going to be a team called the Kraken because it's a unique name, and then also when you saw the logo and the jerseys, what were your initial thoughts on all that?
I think they did a great job. I think, our jerseys look great. I think like all the branding and all that kind of helps everyone build around the excitement. And growing up playing like NHL on video games and stuff, that's one thing you and your buddies always do is create jerseys, but you can never make a good jersey. Like it always looks ridiculous. And I think the colors and stuff they put together, I don't know. It's not something I look into a ton, but I throw the jersey on, I feel good in it, and I think it looks really good. So that's what matters, right?
And that light blue really pops on the ice.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Well, Nate, we are so excited to have you guys hit the ice, and the final preseason game is tonight against the Canucks. And then next week, the first Kraken professional game. It is just unbelievable that we've been waiting so long, and it is here, and we're so happy you're with us.
Nate, we're so excited. Danny and I already have Kraken tattoos. That's how crazy we are.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder why there wasn't already a team here, eh?
Oh, it's about time, man. Dude, I have one last random question, but I'm a big hockey fan, and I'm obsessed with that documentary, Untold Crime and Penalties. I'm wondering if you saw it and what you thought about it.
I wish I could. I watched like half of it. I know the gist of it. I think it's unreal. Something came up, and I don't know. I think I fell asleep. I'll finish it. I'll get back to you.
Okay, fair. We'll have you back on just so we can get a review of the documentary.
And if you want to get at Nate, man, you can tweet him. It's 14nblast on Twitter. Instagram, it's at Nate R. Bastion. And that's where you can send some messages to Nate. And good luck to you, man. So happy to have you on the team. And thank you for being with us this morning, Nate Bastion of your Seattle Kraken.
Thanks, guys.
All right, take it easy. Oh, that's awesome. You know, Steve, he's just like you.
What's that?
Well, he falls asleep in the middle of stuff.
Falls asleep on movies. I respect that. Absolutely.
You guys are like brothers. Hey, this is bizarre. Tinkerbell just shared how many times she was hit on by married men. What does this even mean? I'll tell you at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Make your kitchen ready for every summer gathering this Memorial Day with LG and Lowe's. Our exclusive InstaView appliance suite includes ranges with air fry, refrigerators with slow melting craft ice, and an exclusive dishwasher you can only find at Lowe's. Plus, you'll get up to 10% back via a MasterCard prepaid card when you bundle eligible LG products via rebate. Shop Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Offer valid 3/3 through 5/18 on select LG items only. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details and timing.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. A former Disney park employee who posts videos on TikTok recalls being dressed as Tinkerbell and having married men hit on her, and it happened a lot, I guess.
This is a unique question because I feel like if dudes are going to be creeps and hit on you, they're going to hit on you whether or not you're a character or not. But there were many moments, especially as Tinkerbell, when I had married men, hand me keys to their hotel room and tell me where they were staying.
Wow.
Oh, that's rather aggressive.
That sure is aggressive. What
hey, babe, go get me a pretzel. Here.
Wow. What makes you, first of all, then how do you arrange that? You know, like, is your wife going to be involved? I mean, are the kids in different rooms? I mean, that is just so ridiculous if they're married. Unless they happen to be like Danny and they love to just go on a Disney vacation and sometimes they'll go by themselves.
Yeah. But then how would they know?
Yeah.
Like, how would you know they were married? I guess, yeah. I forget rings or anything.
Yeah, I don't know if she's
wear wedding rings. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if she's doing make-em-ups or these guys are really creeps. I mean, no doubt about it. She's an attractive woman, and creepy guys will be hitting on her. That I believe.
I mean, in order to take your family, you got to be rich as all hell anyway, because of how the prices of tickets these days. But what if the guy, and of course this is just a gigantic make-em-up, but you never know. What if he has a separate hotel room for, the Disney character hookups?
Wow.
So he's like, I'll try Tinkerbell. If that doesn't work, I'll try Cinderella. If that doesn't work, screw it. Shrek, what are you doing later?
True.
I'm just, if he's able to get his own hotel room, Steve, I want that not for hookups. I want it just to get some peace and quiet.
Fair enough. Hey, where are you going? I'm just going to go to the lobby. I'm going to use the bathroom down there. And then you just go to your other hotel room.
I like the girl's T-shirt she's wearing, though. It says Seattle on the heart.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah.
Maybe. Tinkerbell's from Seattle?
Apparently.
I had no idea. So is this where Neverland is?
Yes.
I mean, you know,
First Blippi, now Tinkerbell. I'm finding out, Seattle's got all the people.
It's got all the places. Wow, you don't have to grow up then. I mean, you know, because that's the whole idea, right?
You know, sadly, the story doesn't surprise me at all, though. Just because, I just could see this happening tons at Disneyland.
Well, you got so many people.
Yeah.
So you got to imagine that out of the thousands upon thousands of people that come through the doors, there's going to be a couple of creeps. And then, you know, all of a sudden they're thinking that they're Captain Cool Guy and they're like, hey, Tinkerbell. You know?
And first of all, it's like, yeah, I mean, how do you think that works? I mean, I would love to know. I don't know who you got to be. Maybe you've got to be the most handsome and affluent person in the world for that to work. But my brain goes, you know, that would work on me. You know, if Tinkerbell gave me the key to her room. But then again, I'd be worried if I'd have my kidneys at the end. You know, I'd be in a bathtub with ice, you know.
Yeah, like Peter Pan's waiting in the closet.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah, I would.
Got him.
You know, I look in the mirror every day, Steve, and I'm like, there's no way Tinkerbell's coming and asking me to go to her hotel room. But wait, what guy thinks that works? What woman is like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. I've been in this with all these kids. I'm waiting for Jimmy and his hotel key.
Well, you say, I mean, there's some people that just are in their head. They think that, think about the guys that will catcall women out on the streets. In some way in their mind, they think it's going to work. Yeah. Otherwise, why are you doing this?
Yeah. They're dumb.
Yes, of course, but they think it's going to work.
I used to get in fights with my friends all the time about this.
Well, you guys were catcalling the ladies?
Some of my friends would do stuff like that, though, when we were younger and hang out and call the ladies, you know, where no matter what, if we're driving in a car, if we're just hanging out. And I'm like, you know, I just thought, what are you, an idiot? How do you think that's going to work?
My favorite is with social media nowadays. Guys have no shame. I'll get in my inbox, I'll have guys I want to take you out, we should go. And then sometimes it gets more explicit, but they don't realize, or maybe they do, that their profile picture is them with their wife. It's you're asking me out, but I can see that you're married. Do you think I'm dumb, or are you
they're just that she said yes, she sees the picture, so she knows I'm not trying to dupe her. You know,
right?
That might be the not so subtle way, look, I'm in a relationship, but I kind of want you on the side, like my hash browns.
Or
also, hey babe, can you be my hash brown?
You want to be my hash browns, Vicky?
So that's a thing, I guess, where dudes are just like, hey, look, I want you to know up front, I got somebody, but I'm looking for a mistress.
Well, and honestly,
basically looking for a side piece.
Movies and TV, they tell you that it's going to work. You hear it all the time. Though you see movies, you see. I'm not saying that they should think that all women are the same like that.
No, but in real life, romantic comedies are really stalker situations.
They really are.
They are.
You think about it, it's well, of course the girl's not going to sleep with you if you just automatically go up and talk to her on the street. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, sitting outside of our house with a boombox playing a bad Peter Gabriel song is not going to work.
Oh, weird.
Wait, do you mean there are no starships and I can't go outside the galaxy? Are you telling me that it's not real what I see on the TV
talk
screens?
to Jeff Bezos.
That's why I watch wrestling. At least you know that's real. That's
true to me.
So you're right. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, to quote the great Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, but
you're talking about hockey and a puck and trying to score goals.
And not Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
And then Disney World with your
I guess
family.
if you're just trying to bang somebody, okay. I guess I understand that. Maybe somebody will say yes. But I mean, I knew a dude in college, he would call it when the quote-unquote ugly lights would go on, which was just basically the lights to turn on to tell everybody to get the hell out. He called it his 2-minute drill. And he would just go around to everybody. Didn't matter. He would pick, obviously start with girls that he was attracted to, but then he would go to whoever's willing to just look at him. And it was just basically, you want to go back to my place and have some fun? And it did work from time to time. But I couldn't imagine doing that. I couldn't imagine just okay, it's 1:51 and they just turned the lights on. All right, it's go time. Let me go hit up every single woman that's in this bar and see which one wants to come back to my room with me. Yeah, I would think that the women would see that they were number 10 on the list. You're in that bar, but I guess not. Maybe people are drunk, not paying attention, or it doesn't matter. I hope he comes to me.
Oh, it turns out Tinkerbell is actually originally from Seattle.
Oh, nice. Tinkerbell. Good for you.
Although one texter said that apparently the story, a bunch of our coworkers discredited it and said that she's a diva.
Oh, so they know her.
Everyone knows Tinkerbell.
Well,
Tinkerbell.
I mean, it is a little. Diva. It does seem odd that married men would give her their hotel key, because the average dude at Disneyland. I mean, if you're at Disneyland, what are you doing at Disneyland if you've got cash and no kids? You know what I'm saying? Like you're
having fun. Clearly,
say that'd be me 100%.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Like I said, you have a lot of cash and no kids. Danny, you're at Disneyland. You don't have a lot of cash and you have kids.
Grant, replace cash with hallucinogenics if I was single and going to Disneyland. That would be me.
Whoa. Yeah, but you weren't married.
Right.
That's why her story is unbelievable to me. It's a married man who probably is there with his family, giving him his hotel, giving her the. I could see if he was hitting on her, but she said sliding him the key. That makes that. I don't know. I think there may be a little diva to that. I'm not believing the story. You know what?
I believe it happened at least once.
I think it definitely happened.
Maybe it's been exaggerated, but I believe it's happened at least once.
You believe a married dude?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I did see somebody comment. It's like, I'm friends with an Ariel who that would happen to all the time. And she would say, another one. That's the fourth one for my collection today. And apparently dudes would get really upset hearing that. Because you're not allowed to say no if you're a Disney character.
To anything.
No, like if you say like,
when
hey,
you smell my feet, and they have to say yes.
You have to find a way to not say the actual word no. Like if it's a kid saying like, Tinkerbell, can you fly? It's like, well, I don't really think that, Peter Pan would like that very much right now. So they kind of have to walk around it. So
I'd be a terrible Disney character.
Yeah,
you would.
I'd be like, leave me alone. That's not no.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're not wrong.
You'd be a great Sesame Street Oscar character, like they put you in the trash can. You'd be perfect.
Yeah. Piss off, kid. Wow. I didn't say no.
Yeah. Didn't say no. You're absolutely right.
Do you think that there's like that person brought that her coworkers thought she was a diva? So I'd imagine like depending on the character you are, there's a certain level of arrogance probably with some of these actors and actresses that like if you're Mickey Mouse, I got to imagine that you're like your head's bigger than actual Mickey Mouse's head. Like you're just like
their heads are pretty big in those costumes.
That's what I mean. Massive ego, right? You hit Mickey Mouse level, you're probably like, F off, everyone.
Well, see, that's an interesting thing, Danny. Is that true, or is it that if you get to play Mickey, you're the best of the best?
I'm not going to go with Mickey, but I'll say that I know that there's ranks in terms of what kind of cast member you are. So it's like if you're a cast member who is Mickey, who just does the meet and greets, you just stand there and pose. Whereas they also have Mickeys who are dancers and do the shows. And the ones that are dancers, they obviously have more quote unquote talent because they have to move around and these things. And from what I've heard, they're the more like, pinky up type.
Okay.
Like, don't talk to me type.
I studied at this dance school.
Yeah. Or there's
like Mickey Mouse, and I dance at Disney.
Yeah, there's the Tinkerbell that just takes pictures and walks around with Peter Pan. There's also the one that flies during Fantasmic. Like,
I bet she's like on another level.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably says to Diva Tinkerbell over there, get out of here. Nobody even gets close enough to hand me a key because I'm flying.
I would watch a documentary about like the
underbelly.
Like the my wife watches that above below deck, whatever the hell that show's called, the one about like just like the insanity that happens with the staff of like a yacht or a boat
private
cruise
yachts
thing.
that are rented out.
Yeah, like I would watch a documentary about, and of course Disney would never sign off on this, but of the mascots and the characters, and just the drama that's happening behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Disney would never do that show, at least not today. But then again, if you can convince him it makes enough money, who knows?
Well, especially
with Goofy's gunning for your job, Mickey. You better watch out.
Especially with Disney World, because Disney World has a bunch of tunnels under Disney, like where that's how the characters get around to get to parades and stuff like that. And I've heard some crazy stories. And they also have the college program there, so a lot of the characters are all just like college kids who don't care and just go get super wasted after every shift.
Oh, so like Disney After Hours is probably just nuts.
Pleasure Island at Disney World.
Man, let's watch that. That should be a show. Disney After Hours, Pleasure Island edition.
Right? They just get hammered on the grounds.
Yeah. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
Who was the first president to win a Nobel Peace Prize?
Oh, crap. I don't know. Eisenhower?
No.
Roosevelt?
More specific.
Damn it. Teddy.
Yes. Look at you. 50-50 shot, and it went your way, buddy.
Good job.
Yeah. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another question from a listener. I'm getting my wages garnished. Can bankruptcy help with that?
Absolutely. One of the big reasons people file bankruptcy is because they have a judgment or a lawsuit against them, or their wages are getting garnished, and so they can't pay their other regular ongoing bills. People sometimes think that you can't file bankruptcy once they have a judgment against them or once a garnishment has started, and that's not true. Filing bankruptcy will immediately stop any garnishment that you have going, except for child support, and stop your creditors from continuing on with garnishments of your bank account, your wages, and in most cases will discharge that liability through the bankruptcy process. And we can file a bankruptcy case for you usually the day you come in.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.